Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. We're going to continue on with my solution for replacing my quad lock with a different solution, which I'm pretty excited about. And it starts with two packages coming from two different companies. First, we're gonna talk about this one, and then in the next video we're going to talk about this one. But let me tell you, this came completely wrapped in tape here, so it's like waterproof, and I don't know, they did a crazy job unpacking that. So this one here is from our friends at Moto-Mate. Let's see there, I already split that, but motomate.com got this out to me, and let's get in it and see what it is. So here's what you get in. You get step-by-step instructions here, and you get these 4 replacement bolts. These are for once you remove the GPS mount that BMW gives you. They have long bolts in there that hold that GPS unit in place, and when you take the GPS unit off, if you leave those bolts in there, you're going to have the extra top end that has a female part that you can screw into, and it just looks unsightly. So Moto-Mate was nice enough to provide the shorter new bolts that you screw in to hold the handlebars on. So they got 4 of them. Those are very nice. And then here's the bracket itself. I chose this brand because it's very simple looking. It's small, does the job. It's gonna sit behind the new GPS mount, and that's it. I've looked at some other brands, but some of them were quite big. They stuck out on the sides. It seemed to be quite involved. There was, it is unsightly looking. This is going to blend right in, black. It looks nice. And the directions, it looks pretty easy to put on, so we'll do that. We got to take off the windscreen and take off the C-clips and a few other things, but shouldn't be too bad. So let's get to it. Okay, I brought out all the stuff just to show you what I was talking about in the other video. So here's the BMW mount, GPS mount that comes with the bike. This piece here went on to the handlebars, and this bar here is what this grabs onto. You can see the hole right there. That fits right on top of this, like that. And when I took this apart, so there's 4 screws here, those come out, which allows this back part to come off and expose the opening here so that you can mount it on this bar. I lost the backing of this nut here. See these nuts go flush inside the plastic. This one fell off the bike when I was doing it, and it went somewhere, and I to this day, can't find it. So no idea where it was. So I went to Home Depot and bought another one. Thankfully, they had the right little nuts, and in case you ever lose those, that's what it is. It's an M4 0.7, and that's the little nut in there. And I'll put those on there later once we get to that part. So this is the cheap thing I bought off of Amazon. Served its purpose for a while. You can see there's a couple of USB ports on the side there, and this one I used to charge my phone. And you can see the back here, it clicked right onto this and it gave it power, but that's all it really did. Gave it power. And then this, you put your phone in here horizontally, and this would hold it in place. But the newer iPhones came out and they moved the power buttons and the volume buttons, and this would end up hitting it. So this became kind of obsolete, and yeah, no use for this anymore. So this is what I'm going to be relocating up above the TFT with this from Moto-Mate, this relocation bracket for the RS. Okay, first thing you gotta do is take off the windscreen. So there's 4 bolts here. I've painted these black in the past to match my smoke screen from Puig, but so these come off first. Okay, and this is a good time to clean the back of the screen too. It's all dirty. Okay, the next step is to, now that the screen is off, you gotta put this in the upper position like that. And then you come over here, you can see there's some C-clips here. And I got a little remover here. You gotta take this clip off right here and remove this pin. So to separate this from this arm. And then you're gonna do the same thing on this side. See, there's a C-clip here to remove this. And this is where the mount is gonna go in between here. So let's get this, this clip off. I hate these things because these things usually go flying when you take them off. Okay, now that the C-clips are off, and of course one of them went flying, I had to look for it, so back. So now that those are off, these pins will come out. So you take this one out, take this one out, and then that has separated the top part from this arm. So the next step is, we'll do these next. Okay, so next is going to be these C-clips, and since we're close to this lovely TFT, you definitely want to put like a microfiber cloth over it or something to protect it so you don't scratch it, because that would be terrible. All right, so I got the C-clamp off of this one here, and this one is next. There we go. There's a little bugger. All right, so now what we're going to do over here is push this flush to that side and push this one in flush this side. So now we can put the mount in here. All right, at this stage, before we actually insert this bracket, we need a piece from this. This is original. So this was mounted right here on the BMW, and this is where the GPS unit was, right here. So basically what we need to do is unscrew this bar and screw it back in here, because this needs the bar to mount the GPS on. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we got the bar on here. I screwed it in. This is a Torx 25 to get this on. And here's the actual GPS bracket. So I need to take off the back of this so that this can go onto here like this. Okay, but before we do that, before we actually mount this, the wire has to go in between, like it has to go in here. Let's see if we can do this with one hand. So we need to, before we mount this, see, we're gonna put this here, and this wire is gonna be tucked inside here. So we have to get this squared away first, like that, before we actually secure all this in, because once you do that, it'll be too late. Because the wire will go in here, and then it's going to snake around behind the TFT. So I don't know if that's clear, but that's what we're going to do. All right, so here's the 4 screws. I took those out, so that allows this to come off, and it allows the back of this to come off. So this is the part that's going to sit like this. It's going to go in here. And then that goes like that. So that's how it's going to sit on the mount itself. And then you can kind of move it a little bit if you need to adjust it. And now I got to put these screws on. And we're also going to have to take off. We're also going to have to take off the side fairing over on this side to get at the wiring that's really tucked up under here. The GS, the BMW GS has a much bigger kind of space here, so you can reach down. I've seen people do it, and there's a lot more area to kind of get at the wires. But the RS is fairly tight with this fairing, and I can't get my arm down in there. So I have to take all the side fairing off, and to get to these connectors, to get it power and to the data storage, so it can, read all the data of the bike. So that's the next step. All right, so I'm just tightening this last screw. I didn't tighten them down really hard, so that I can move this still. And once you get it on, you want to be able to move this so you can get it where you want it, and then crank these down so it doesn't move. So let's just go over here. So what I'm going to do is drop this down inside the black hole down in there. I don't even know where that goes. And then this is going to sit right here. What we're going to do is tuck this wire in here first, and run it along the side there, and then attach it. See, it'll be here, and then we'll run this behind the TFT screen. So that's basically where it's going to sit, and then you can kind of move, you know, like I said, you keep these loose so you can move this. Let's just get this out of the way so you can see. Okay. So that's what it's going to look like, and then we just push these pins in. Okay, so that one's on. Okay, there we go. So that's how it's going to sit. And you just want to make sure you have enough slack in this part here in case you want to tilt this up more. You got to pull a little bit out. So before you tighten these down, before you tighten this and zip tie it in place and everything, make sure you have this where you want it to go before you do all that. So that's it. Let's keep going. I got to take the fairings off this side now. Hey friends, I'm actually editing this video right now, and I felt I needed to kind of add this in the middle of the video because I'm going to get into taking off a whole bunch of fairings that you may or may not need to take off. If you have the RS and you have the GPS mount in its original position, then you are going to have to most likely take off the front part of the fairing so you can get at the plug. There's a white and a black plug that go together, the power and data cord for the GPS unit. It's kind of deep inside above the radiator, and you need to cut. Mine had a zip tie like clip way in the back, and I had to stick an X-Acto knife in there and kind of saw away at it to break it so I could pull that cord out. And you'll see in this video, you'll see that the black and the white ones are already free dangling, and I just connect them together and zip tied them back up out of the way once the whole relocation bracket was there. Also, if you don't have a quad lock, that's why I had to remove the fairing from the gas tank and the back and take off the seat, because I had to remove all the wiring for the quad lock that went all the way into the back of the bike and then back forward around to the battery. I didn't show any of that, but again, that's stuff you may or may not need to do. But yeah, any questions about this, shoot me a message, happy to answer. And that's it, back on with the show. All right, so now we're gonna take off the fairing. I already took off this piece here, this little piece, which is right there. And then we're going to take off, there's this one, and then on the back side, there's under here, there's two, I believe. And then you need to disconnect this. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Once I get this off, this is wired inside. You have to disconnect the wire for your blinker to get this panel off. So it's going to take a little while. I'll show you once I'm done. Okay, so I got this piece off, and like I said, it's connected here, the blinker. So there's a little tab here. This comes out of here, and then you got to pull this part off and then snake it through this hole to get this piece off. So I have to take this one off, this one, I think that's it, just these two. We'll get into it though. Okay, so I got this part off. This connects in here, and there's quite a few different connections up in here to get access to all this side stuff. So now it's just a matter of me finding the right wire and the power wire and the data wire to hook everything up. So that's going to take a little while, so I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've undone all these screws here, these two here, this one on the side, this one here is going to come next. Basically, I'm going to take this whole side off. I took the seats off already because this is the wiring right here, this red, for the quad lock, so I'm gonna have to remove all that wiring as well. And then under here is my quad lock. There it is right there. Quad lock on, off, and auto switch. So that's all gotta come out as well. So it's just you know, work in progress. So parts of the fairing are there. The tank fairing is going to come off next. Okay, so there's that main fairing and part of the tank fairing. See here, this is gone now. So it's all opened up on the side. So in case you're curious what a naked RS looks like from the side. Okay, now we got a bunch of wires dangling. So this one here, just put this out of the way. This is the turn signal. So kind of see if we can get him out of the way. So this is from the, you see here, this part, and then it has 2 wires. That's directly from the GPS cradle. This is the one you need. This is the power one and data one and all that. This one, unfortunately, I didn't document too closely what I did when I did remove this originally, but I think this is just a dummy. It doesn't do anything. I think it was just kind of hanging. So we'll go with that as it not being useful at this point. And then here's the connector for the bike here. So this white part goes in with this black one here. You can see that. And then you just squeeze them together. I can't do this with one hand, but that's what I'll do. I'm gonna connect those, and then I'll you know, secure it somewhere, zip tie it, make sure it's all good to go. I'm gonna go on to the next stage, and first I'm gonna remove the quad lock. I won't show that. Gonna get the fairing back on, and last would be to put the windscreen back on, and then finally dial this in, make sure that it's at the right angle and all that stuff, and then tighten everything down, zip tie everything, and should be good to go. Okay, I've got the fairings all back on. Just gotta put the seat on, and then we're gonna finish up this, and we should be done. Okay, if you'll remember, before we put this on, there was 2 large C-clips, one here and one here, to hold these in place. You don't put those back on because now these are stuck into this tube on both sides. And then once we connect these to these arms again for the windshield, these pins with the C-clips that go on these will hold this in place. It won't let it move. So there's no need to put the C-clips, large C-clips in again, and you really can't anyways, because if you put the large C-clips in on here, you won't be able to get this tube onto it. So just a point to make, but you would run into that problem anyways if you didn't listen to my warning. Okay, I've got this C-clip in here on this side. And you'll notice that when I took these off, I don't have any extras, but when I took them off, they bend outwards a little bit. So I just used a pair of pliers on either side and squeezed the opening, the Pac-Man kind of opening there. I squeezed it a little bit to make it smaller, and then snap it back on place so it's steady and strong. Otherwise, you gotta go get new C-clips. Well, I'm almost done, just gotta do this last C-clip, and wouldn't you know it, things in life are not always easy. That's right. I tried to put the C-clip on and it snapped in half. Now I gotta go to Home Depot and hope that they have the same one, same size. This is from BMW, metric, I don't know. If not, I'll have to go to the BMW dealer and see if they have any laying around. They'll probably cost $50 for one. All right, so the saga continues. I'll be back with you. Fast forward into the future in 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we are in the future. Gosh, that was three hours ago or more, I don't know. I went to Home Depot, got them, but they weren't metric. They were like 5/16, so they were just a little bit too big. So I had to blast out. I called the BMW dealer. They didn't know, so I just got in the car and blasted down there and talked to some of my friends there. And there we are. A new C-clip. Now I gotta make sure it fits. We matched it up to the broken one and it seemed like it was the right size, and they checked the BMW manual, so this should be the right one. So I'm gonna pop it on now. If it goes on, I'm gonna be So excited. All right, let's go. Okay, it's in. There it is. All right. So that was a lot of extra work just for the C-clip. So if you get anything from this, be careful with those C-clips because it'll derail the whole thing. So let's move ahead and get the windscreen on. Okay, when putting this back on, you have the upper and lower. So you have these, so make sure you put it in the right place. I put mine on the lower ones because I don't want the screen like up too high. I want it to be as low as possible. So I put it on these lower ones. Okay, it's all set. It's all in there. I can see my TFT no problem on the bottom. And then here's the GPS up here. It's not hitting the screen. And it's not hitting the clutch or brake reservoirs. I've got enough slack in the line here, so if I turn, it won't pull out. But that's good. So this is, again, this relocation kit, this bracket is from Moto-Mate. I really like the way it looks. The color, it's not a lot going on back there. I've seen some other ones that come way out and they're really bulky. This one looks really nice, really good price. I'm happy. Cool. So there's, again, the finished product from my perspective. You can see the TFT GPS unit's gonna go here. Now I don't have any quad lock, nothing else. This RAM mount is for my Insta360 camera, which I do my moto vlogging with, so that's gonna stay there. But looks good. All right, guys, that's it for the install of the Moto-Mate GPS relocation bracket. The only problem, again, was that C-clamp. That was kind of my problem, as well as maybe faulty metal. I don't know, it just broke off there. So make sure you watch those C-clamps or clips when you're doing this. Any comments, suggestions, any of that, put it below, please. Thumbs up, subscribe. If you do have a BMW R 1250 RS and you want to do this, get yourself one of these Moto-Mates. It looks good, it's easy to install, and the price is good. I'll put a link below for their website so you can find them. And until next time, I will do another video with a test ride and a GPS unit in there and all that good stuff. So I will see you next time. Later. Bye.